The Committee on Education and Labor will come to order for the purposes of conducting a hearing on ensuring the availability of student loans. The purpose of this hearing is to provide information to the committee and to students, their families, and the schools about our ability to assure them that student loans will continue to be made available to them, and the development of contingency plans in the unlikely event that some lenders are unable to continue lending in this market. In some cases, we have been forewarned that some lenders will not or will reduce their lending, and in some cases, we've been told by other lenders that they plan to expand their lending, and we're trying to balance that information. This is really about us making the proper preparation. So in the coming lending season for students in the school year and their families, we will be able to make sure that there is a seamless system in place so that we can use already existing legal authority and programs that are on the books, whether that is the lender of last resort provisions in the law, or whether or not that is the direct lending program. Senator Kennedy and I sent the Secretary a letter outlining what we thought was necessary to have plans in place so that we can deal with these contingencies. Under the existing laws, some 35 guarantee agencies around the country are obligated to serve as lenders of last resort to avert any possible problem in access to student loans, and thereby providing a nationwide network of backstop lenders. The Education Department has established a lender of last resort plan back in 1998 when some lenders were indicating they might withdraw from the government guaranteed loan program. But the department did not need to have that program implemented at that time because of a change in the law. Our interest this morning is whether or not that plan has been updated, whether or not meetings have been held with those guarantee agencies, and whether or not the agreements that were arrived at that time have again been updated for today's contingencies, and whether or not all lines of operation are in fact clear should the Secretary need to impose that authority to continue the access of loans by students and families. In addition, the Federal Direct Loan Program is available to schools that wish to temporarily or permanently use the program to ensure students can have access to student loans. The Direct Loan Program does not rely on private credit markets for raising capital to originate these new loans. One of the questions we asked the Secretary, and we'll ask again this morning, is whether or not efforts have been made to have schools pre-register should they decide to use the direct lending program. Apparently, it's a very small difference from what the information they provide for the FEL program, and then whether or not they are certified that they can use that program should they decide to use that as an alternative. And I would hope that what we would see is that we're not waiting for a problem to develop it, but we have been forewarned. This committee, staff, and the chairman have held a number of meetings with lenders from all sectors of the student loan community. The Democratic leadership has held a series of meetings over the last several months with economists and investment community from Wall Street, and all of them are talking about the unprecedented nature of the seizing of the credit markets that we have seen, that have spilled over into the municipal bond market, that have spilled over obviously into both the commercial and residential real estate market, and to some extent in the student loan market, as people have, as institutions have tried to recapitalize their ability to make future loans. That is why we're here today, to make sure that if that recapitalization does not take place in the volume that is necessary, that we have the ability to step in and to make sure that these students do not miss classes that are necessary for their graduation or for their majors, that they do not miss semesters or quarters that then will cause them to have to borrow more money to go on and finish their degrees. In today's loan-dependent educational environment, it turns out that time is money for families and for students, and we should be in the position of being able to assure those students and their families that they will not have to spend additional time because we failed to make the preparations to provide those loans in the event that the private markets are unable to do so. Having said that, again, we have received many assurances, both privately and publicly, that the private markets believe they will be able to continue to do that. Some have raised the issue that they think there may very well be a gap. They do not suggest that it's a terribly sizable gap, but it's a gap that must be filled in a seamless fashion so that students and families are not required to go into deeper debt because we couldn't sort out the bureaucratic operations between our institutions of higher education, students and families, and the federal programs that are designed essentially for this exact situation, whatever that cause may be.